All right, we're going to be working on section number 1 of your Unit 4, Unit 5 flipbook. Section number 1, both top and bottom flap, and this section, class, is dealing with all of the properties of a vertex form quadratic. So in a previous video, we've already covered the properties of intercept form quadratic in section 2. So this is going to go over all the properties you need to know about vertex form. So let's take a look at this. We are not going to have an essential question in this section. Again, I'm just going to go right to taking a look at the properties. First thing you want to do is to write down what does vertex form look like, and you should be very familiar with this already, but I'll go ahead and write. It's going to be y equals, we've got our value of a times x minus h squared plus k. And we'll go through the properties here, and then we're going to be working through a problem just to show the calculations for how to find the vertex, how to find the x-intercepts, how to find the y-intercept. So the equation we're going to work through here, just as a way of showing how to do these things, is the equation y equals -2, that's our value of a. Then we have x minus 3. Remember, class, the 3 is our h value, but when we pull it out of the equation, we flip the sign. So this actually has a value of positive h. And then we have a value of 4, positive 4 for k. Okay, let's take a look at how to find the vertex. The great part about vertex form is the vertex is right in the equation. So how do you find the x value of the vertex? We should know this already. The vertex x value is h. And then I'll put in parentheses to remember this. Remember to flip the sign. Again, we'll repeat this again for you. When you pull h out of the equation or put it back into the equation, you always flip the sign. And the reason why is because the equation already has a negative in it, or a minus sign in it. That means the value of h will always be the opposite of what you see in the equation. All right, and the y value is always the k. So the y value is, the vertex, oops, I spelled that right. The vertex y value is k. So vertex form, very easy to find the vertex. It's already in the equation. So in this particular example, y equals -2 times x minus 3 squared plus 4. We have an h value. We have an h value equal to positive 3 and a k value equal to positive 4. So our vertex is equals h comma k, which is equal to 3 comma 4. All right, let's move along. How does the value of the parameter a affect the graph? The good news is it affects the graph exactly the same as it affects the graph in standard form and in intercept form. So a positive a, the parabola opens up. Draw a little parabola there. And negative a. So I can fit this. Actually, can't fit that there. Let's go ahead and go to the next line. positive A, let's see, hold on a second here. How about if we just do this? We already know this question is talking about A, so positive, parabola opens up, negative, parabola opens down, and then what about the absolute value of A? As the absolute value of A increases, the graph stretches. So remember, we've gone through this before. As the absolute value of A gets really big, the graph stretches and gets thinner. As the absolute value of A gets smaller and smaller and smaller, the graph compresses or gets wider until finally the absolute value of A is 0 and the graph just turns to a straight line. So as the absolute value of A increases, the graph stretches. Alright, how does H affect the graph? As H increases, the graph shifts right. And that means, class, that of course, as H decreases, the graph is going to shift left. So we're going to put on here, this is horizontal shift. H determines which way the graph is, or the parabola is going to show up, so it's going to determine whether it shifts left or right on the coordinate grid. And then the K, how does K affect the graph? As K increases, the graph shifts up. And that means the opposite effect will be true if K decreases, the graph shifts down. So K controls vertical shift, which makes sense. The y-axis is vertical, it's up and down. And since K is the y value of the vertex, a change in K will make the graph go up and down. Increases means it goes up, decreases means it goes down. H, since H is the x value of the vertex, it moves the parabola on the x-axis, so it shifts it left and right. Alright, let's take a look at the next section. Actually, what I'm going to do is, class, because I know this might take a few minutes, let's go ahead and stop the video. We've done the top flap of section number 1. I'm going to stop the video and we'll go to the next one to do the bottom flap.